Gotta get me see it in the picture.
Figure it out on the Archie Beslow radio show. He cares, he shares, he knows. The journey of our youth is in our control. So tell your family and tell your friends that the word on the street is we all should listen in. So let's figure it out on the Archie Beslow radio show.
Well, welcome back. Another Sunday that I'm grateful to have this platform to reach out to our youth, our families, and our communities. Another day that my good Lord has given me and allowed me to walk this earth. Also, we always have to uplift our youth. As you guys know, me and my co-host, Miss Maya.
Hello.
Maya J. Miss Maya J. The show is called Voices of Our Youth. When I first embarked on this vision, this project, I really wanted to dedicate my show to the family and to the youth because our kids, to me, don't get enough airtime as it relates to changing their mindsets and giving them encouragement and just kind of giving even the adults the tutelage on how to interact with our youth. So what I said, well, it wasn't just me. Maya, she kind of forced me into this. And the topic is bullying, but Maya, the type of bullying Maya did to me, her big brother, it wasn't a bad bullying type of thing. It was like a very, what's that? What word am I looking for? Like what? What am I looking for?
Helping.
Helping. Yeah, okay, there you go. So Maya is calling helping. But she told her big brother we need to do a show on the youth. And so Maya said it, and here we are. But first and foremost, the subject that we're going to embark on today is bullying. I know we talk about it often, and a lot of our adults and our kids don't get the resources and information they need to kind of curtail the bullying. So we have in the studio today is Miss Sydney Saxon. Am I saying it correct, Sydney?
Yes.
All right. So I was going to read an email that I got from Sydney's mom, but I'm not gonna read that because when I read it, you guys already know Coach Archie gets choked up and get emotional. I read it and I was choked up about it. And we're gonna touch upon it throughout the show. But the thing that stood out to me the most about the email, and I shedded a tear, man, to know that this young lady, to get to her happy place, that she listened to gospel music. That's powerful. I mean, at a young age to take your problems to the Lord at a young age, to me, it just speaks volumes to not just you, but it's to your parents as well. Mm-hmm. Because you have to be comfortable in your place to find yourself. And your mom and dad's allowing you to find yourself with the support of them as well, which means you're living in a loving home and there's nothing that you cannot overcome because of the quality of parenting that you have in your household. My co-host, you want to interact with that?
Yes, and that's also very strong of you because I know nowadays kids don't really have the best influences in their lives, and I don't know why, but some people are kind of scared to listen to gospel openly and stuff like that. I never understood that, but that's strong of you to, when people are picking on you, you go to God.
Amen. What you gotta say about that, Sid? We jumping right in, Sid. Hey, what you gotta say about it? And real talk, Sid. So let's start the show there because you can't go wrong with starting the show with God. I mean, you really can't. So your piece is, what's your favorite song? And so I'm kind of mad because I actually had the name of the song. I did not do my homework because I was going to actually play the song as an intro. But tell us about your favorite song, your favorite gospel song.
I have a lot of favorites, but my number one favorite would be I'm Good by Tim Bowman Jr.
Yeah, man. I was supposed to play it. I'm sorry. But go ahead. So tell me, so what do you actually take from listening to gospel music? What do you take from that?
I always actually listen to gospel music when I was little, my mom would always play 104.1 in the car, and we'd be sitting in the car singing gospel music. And so I just found it as a resort to go to because like it calmed me. It took me back to memories, funny times in the car, or even in the house, because we danced at a dance studio where we danced to gospel music. And so that gospel music is really like in my roots, my history. That's a big part of my life.
That's good.
Right. Go ahead, Maya. Go ahead, jump out there, Maya. Don't be looking at me. No, but in all seriousness, Maya, what's your views on that? How do you feel that you have one of your peers that's not talking like the normal peers talk? You don't have a lot of young people talk about listening to gospel music, and that they get a good peace and a good healing from that. How do you feel about that?
That's actually great because, like I said earlier, people aren't really not bold enough, but strong enough to openly listen to gospel. And the fact that Sydney didn't just give up, she went to God and she's leaning on God. I think that's wonderful. So
you guys know we can like repeat that throughout the whole show. We can just say it for like an hour and just talk about Sydney, God, and gospel, and it'll be a great show. I'm just keeping it real. So the bullying piece, man, I don't. It's a serious situation, and this is how we're gonna play this today. Because a lot of bullying comes from a place of brokenness. It comes from young people not getting the attention that they need at home. And by no means am I giving an excuse. My job is to facilitate all of our youngsters, and that's what I try to do. So I want you guys to chime in at any point in time. You can pick up on the conversation. You can even start the conversation. You can divert the conversation. However you want this conversation to go, I want you ladies to spearhead it. But my point is, bullying, we know is wrong. It's wrong because it doesn't feel good, for one. Second of all, I think there should be things in place to actually talk to the persons that are bullying the individual. They should have some type of separate counselor just for that.
Yes.
How you guys feel about that?
That's good. And then also parents or teachers or like people in authority, they should look out for signs of kids who are bullying and signs of kids who are getting bullied.
So one of you guys, you tell me Sydney.
Yes.
What was the contributing factor to you even calling it bullying? And we're going to get into your story as the show go on. So what is some of the contributing factors that you think young people should look out for?
To seeing if your child is a bully or if they're being bullied.
Well, however you want to start, little sis. It's your show.
Start with if your child's being bullied.
Awesome.
Like, my mom says she noticed, like, a change in my spirit. Like, she picked me up from camp one day, and she said she could tell that something was wrong. She asked me how my day was. I said, we'll talk about it in the car. When we got in the car, I said, I'll talk about that at home. She refused to pull up, so I talked about it.
Okay. And so that's a start, right? So mom noticed something in your behavior right away, and mom addressed it. So at that point, you felt a comforting from your mom to even pick up on the fact that there was something wrong, correct?
Correct.
All right. Maya, you can start with that, Maya.
So you were transferred into a new school in the PG County area, right?
Yes.
So how long were you in that school before the bullying started?
Well, I got there on that Monday, and by Wednesday or Thursday, the bullying had started.
Wow. By
someone spreading a rumor that I dug up my nose and ate it in the bathroom.
Okay.
So, in what other ways were you bullied? Like physically, social media wise?
I didn't have social media at the time, but this one kid, they pushed me into a locker once, pick up my stuff and threw it back at me. And then there was this one kid in the lunch line. He called me dirty, maybe my second week of school.
Okay, wow. Okay. All right, the call-in number is 800-450-7876, 800-450-7876. So I tried to start the show out with a little laughter and a little looseness, because I know this is a very touching topic to me. So I was trying to not make light of it as the context of what we're talking about, but I was trying to kind of crescendo into the conversation, and it's not a light conversation to have. It's a very serious conversation. I think a lot of adults should step in, and I truly believe a lot of adults know the type of kids they have, because when the child is at home, the child is acting out at home. If the child is being disrespectful to mom and dad or his sisters, his peers in the house, or his siblings in the house, well, quite naturally he's going to take that out into the public. So a lot of bullying can be stopped at home. How you guys feel about that?
Yeah, that's true.
That actually kind of relates, because one of my friends, one of my very close friends, she said that the kid that was bullying me my last year at school, which was this year, she said that last year he got picked on too, because we both started on the same day. So he got picked on too, and I guess he decided to take that out on me the next year. I don't know.
So the kids that are doing the bullying, do they come across as being normal kids, angry kids, playful kids? So in the midst of someone bullying you, after they bully you, they say that I was playing? Do they try to become your friend? Do they laugh with you? Or do they act nasty and angry and evil towards you throughout the day? How does it take place?
So he would be friendly and funny sometimes, but then he would just make jokes that would not relate to anything. It was me and this other girl in my class. We'd be sitting in our reading class, and he'd just make a joke about people's weight and stuff, and it would just not be funny.
Okay.
Once you realized that you were being bullied, how did you deal with the bullies, and how did it make you feel?
So I dealt with it by basically ignoring what they were saying sometimes, because I knew it wasn't true. It didn't matter. God still loves me for who I was.
So whoa. And Archie Beslow should always do this thing called repeat, because I got to catch the repeat. So repeat that.
God still loves me for who I was.
Okay, amen. There you go. So y'all got to catch my repeats. Whenever I say repeat, come back with it. On this show, Sydney, I go from the heart. I'm a spirited, orientated type of person, and I love my shows to be generated off of one spirit. And I feel your spirit. You are a beautiful young lady inside and out, and God will continue to use you. Because he is, because the smile that you have and the spirit that you have, your testimony now is going to change lives, and your testimony down the road is going to not just change the life of the youth, but it's going to change a lot of adult lives as well.
So, when did you realize that enough was enough, and when you had to bring it to your parents or your authorities, and who did you bring it to first?
I realized enough was enough, after it first started, when people started calling me names, and it was just, I just didn't feel like that was right, and then I just told my mom. My mom says it broke her heart, because I was talking about it with my dad, because I wanted to go back to regular school. He was like, the only reason why, and I was crying downstairs, and she said it broke her heart.
Crying downstairs, I'd have probably went to the school and just sat in the front. Life in itself, life is tough enough. You know what I mean, ladies? It's tough enough just to go through life itself. But to have someone to have the audacity to use you as a form of, I don't know, excitement, or as a form of trying to edify themselves, to make them a better person by being negative to someone else, I just don't think that's cool. I really don't. So I'm quite sure you have friends. Do you have friends in the school, right?
Right.
Yes, ma'am. So do you guys talk about it, or do you keep it to yourself and take it home to mom and dad?
No, we talk about it in group chats. My circle of friends, we talk about it in the group chat, and they help me through it, because they were friends with some of my enemies. And they actually helped me through it. I just started ignoring those other people. And I'm actually friends with the person who called me dirty. He actually apologized because he realized he was being silly, and we're really good friends now.
So being silly, is that something that so for someone that's being bullied, if a person say I was just being silly, is that something that you accept? Or this is what we call it in adulthood, and we call it our haters. So when our haters hate on us, we tend to know where to put them in our lives on how to interact with them. Is that a way to look at bullying as well? So that and we're not talking about the physical bullying. Physical bullying, that's a whole nother, that's an assault, that's criminal, that's a whole nother, but we're talking about, kids actually using very negative words or saying negative things. Do you and we're talking about the kid that's being playful. Now kids can be playful and not realizing that it's actually being hurtful. So do you actually tell it, and you can chime in as well, Maya.
Yes.
So would you tell a person, like you said, Maya, enough is enough, or do you kind of say, what's your problem? Why me? Do you like ask questions?
Enough is enough. I was trying to figure out who started this rumor. I was actually asking people around. There was this one person who knew but just wouldn't tell me. So we never agreed to be friends because she just wouldn't cooperate with actually what I was trying to do ever.
Okay.
Now, you said that your friends were friends with the people who were bullying you, right? Mm-hmm. Did your friends or other kids try to stop them or say something to help you, or to tell them to stop messing with you?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 of them did. There was just this one girl. I told her about it, but I didn't actually tell her to talk to her about it because she has, me and her, 2 peas in a pot, and, close, really close. We do, some of the same things. We actually met because we, bonded because we like 2 of the same YouTubers. And we sang songs in the hallway, and people would be like, y'all are weird, and we'd be like, well, we just ignore them.
Okay.
So
do you think, so there are a lot of listeners, so, and like I said, this the Archie Beslow show is a solution-based show, and once again, you ladies are saying a lot of profound things that people should be not being entertained by, but they should actually be listening and writing some of this stuff down because you shared a lot. The one thing that you shared that's very important, that it needs to stand out, and we're going to keep going back to it, that your release is you're taking it to something positive as it relates to gospel music. You're taking it to something positive. A young lady or a young man can sit and listen to gospel music. A young lady and a young man can actually sit with mom and dad and not say anything. A young lady and a young man can actually just say, Mom and Dad, can you give me a hug? I need a hug right now. That can curtail the bullying part, and the moms and dads need to actually do that to start breaking down the barriers of their kids being embarrassed, being ashamed, or actually being scared. Because like with anything, with any act that make a person feel bad, the victim always feels guilty when they reach out for help. And we in a society should actually change that. Your mom says smile. Your mom, I'm on national radio. I don't play that. Your mom, don't be sitting here. Right, exactly. But real talk, and you got a beautiful smile. Y'all sitting here, y'all beautiful smiles and nice hairdos and right, life. And you know me, you know me long enough now to know that I make jokes about things, but there's always a message and a meaning. Because I know you in deep thought about what's going on, and I totally get it. But let me tell you something. All right? Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So my point is, young people need something to help them to open up, so that they can start their own healing. I don't think we allow our young adults enough time and effort to get their healing out, because we're so busy being adults that we don't allow you guys to take the time you guys need. You can speak to that.
Parents and adults should not be afraid to talk to the youth, and that's why we have the show Voices of Our Youth, so that this can be an outlet for other teenagers or the youth to hear it and say, oh, she's going through something that I'm going through, and she talked to her mom about it, so maybe I feel more comfortable talking to my mom about it. And parents and adults, don't be afraid to, like, you know, ask your child, how was your day, and anything you want to talk about. Because
repeat that, Maya. You know, this is a repeating show. Repeat that.
Parents and adults, don't be afraid to pull your kid aside and ask them about their day and ask them if anything they want to talk about.
Amen. All right, well, we got the phones going. Who we have on the line first? Is this Theo? Theo, you on the line?
Yes.
Thank you for calling the Archie Beslow radio show.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Ms. Pinson,
Yes.
I know you're a fine young lady.
Thank you.
Ready to book. And I hope you go nationwide. I hope you become, you know, councilman, congresswoman, and everything like that. You know, you have a bright future ahead of you.
Amen.
Thank you.
But I have one question. You know, how do you feel about everything that's going on with the police?
Police brutality and injustice?
Yes.
I feel like that it's not fair, and that a lot of people say that some people have different opinions on it. Some people say that we're just taking it to heart and stuff, but I feel that they're no different than us in the neighborhood, because black on black crime, blacks kill a lot of blacks, and we shouldn't do that. We should stick together as brothers and sisters. And then the cops, that's kind of the same thing, but then it's kind of not, because when we're not doing anything, and then all the stereotypical, they're stereotyping us a lot because they think, oh, he's black, it's late at night, he's up to no good. They shouldn't stereotype. They should think before what they do, but then don't overthink it. Think because of what you believe, not because of something you've heard on the news. And because a lot of them haven't really interacted with a lot of blacks. Like a lot of white cops, well, the racist white cops, they haven't interacted with a lot of blacks. So they just go off of what they've heard.
Awesome.
Okay.
You got that right. Amen. Yes, sir. Brother Theo, anything else? You got anything for Miss Sydney?
Negative.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you. If Maya do become a congresswoman, I'm going to be her bodyguard. I'm going to be like her security dude. I'm just saying. I have enough experiences in this, so. But no, thank you, sir, for calling in. We appreciate you. We need to, that's the purpose of the show, man. We need to start interacting with our youth and have conversation. Have the conversation with our youth instead of talking about them and saying what they're not doing. Sometimes you have to stop what we're doing as adults and have that conversation with our youth. And I thank you so much, sir, for calling in.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Who we have on the line? Is Laverne? Laverne, you on the line? Caller?
Hi, yes.
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is Laverne. My daughter, Phoebe, and I are calling in.
Outstanding.
Now, what I have to say is first, Mr. Archie.
Yes, ma'am.
I think this is an awesome show.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I think your co-host is double awesome.
Woo!
And I'd like to say congratulations to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I want to commend Sydney for her bravery.
Amen.
That speaks volumes.
Amen.
As a parent, I've learned from you what I need to do based on what you said, the conversation your mom had with you.
There you go.
And I just like to commend your bravery. And now I'm going to pass the phone to my daughter, Phoebe.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Phoebe.
Hi. So this is a question for Maya and Sydney.
Yes.
If people see my happiness and if they see me being nice to others? How do I deal with the negative people around me that are jealous of me or want to take my happiness away?
Ignore them.
Yes, you should continue shining your rays of sunlight on people and continue being happy. And, maybe pull them aside and talk to them or try to be their friend or, like Cindy said, ignore them.
Put this on World Star Hip Hop. I'm sorry, I had a moment. My bad. My bad. Go ahead. Now that's and young lady, if I may, as an adult, what they said is on point, and it's amazing because the same things that the kids go through, you go through, we go through as adults, and the same scenario. I have a lot of haters. I do so much for so many people, but I still have haters. And
You have haters?
I know, right? I'm trying. Hey, we would have to talk offline. but
Thank you for the encouragement.
amen. Thank you for calling in. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Thanks again. All right, we have Charlie from DC. Charlie,
Yes.
thank you for calling the Archie Beslow radio show. Let's figure it out.
Okay, Miss Maya, I have a question for you.
Hello.
If there's one thing you could do to change the world, what would you do?
Well, I will continue doing what I'm doing, trying to put out a positive message. And the thing that I want people to change within themselves is to be strong, brave, and bold. Because a lot of people are scared to do a lot of positive things because they're either scared of the outcome or they're scared of how people will view them.
Repeat.
A lot of people are scared to do a lot of positive things because they're either scared of the outcome or they're scared of how people will view them. Because say you're growing up in a bad neighborhood and it's not often that you will go do something positive. And everybody will look at you and be like, oh, that's not going to work, or oh, what are you doing? You look stupid. A lot of people aren't brave enough and bold enough and strong enough to step out of their comfort zone and step out of the area that they are grown up in and do a positive thing that can impact the world.
What would you do, Sydney, to change the world?
I would. Oh gosh, it's a hard question.
Hey, first thing come to your mind. Let God work through you.
To change the world, I would actually change. First, actually, I would change the way I love animals. So I would actually change the way people treat dogs and stuff.
Amen.
Because they are service animals and they help out other people. Me and my mom will sit and watch videos of people leaving dogs on the street, and dogs develop diseases or get injuries from people throwing rocks at them. And instead of bringing them to like the shelter, I mean, that's the least people could do.
All right. Brother Charles?
Yes, another question.
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay, now you talked about peers standing in your way. Let's talk about adults or teachers that should be guided. Have you encountered any adults or teachers standing in your way, hating on you, as my brother said?
No. All of my teachers, adults have been encouraging. I have never had an adult put me down. I've always had adults try to raise me up.
Maya.
Okay.
Well,
Right,
Now, hold up, Charles. Maya got one. Wait a minute. Come on, Maya.
at my school, a lot of the teachers and adults didn't really support me. So when I had first published my book, a lot of them didn't really congratulate me, even though they knew about it.
Yeah, I'm a girl. Give me a high five on that. Go ahead.
They didn't really congratulate me, even though they knew about it,
Right.
until one teacher, he actually bought the book, and then in the middle of the class, he came in and surprised me with the book and asked me to autograph it in front of the class. So I autographed it, and then that's when a couple teachers were saying, oh, congratulations.
Exactly.
There were a
Man.
couple teachers saying, oh, congratulations. But then you could tell, you could hear it in their voice that it wasn't really sympathetic and like they weren't really happy for me. They were saying it
Get
just to say
wits.
it.
They trying to get wit.
They were saying it just to say it.
You
And
can call them get wits. It's okay.
and they weren't always supportive. Like I I maintained a 4.15 GPA last year, and they didn't really acknowledge me for things. But then other stuff like the sports teams, they would always throw them in the spotlight.
Mike, whoa. We're going to say that for another show, Mike. Don't do that. We got you. We're going to touch that one, buddy. Brother Charles, you got anything else for my ladies?
No, that's it. You did a wonderful job. I appreciate you. Thank you for answering my question.
Man, thank you for calling in, sir. We appreciate you.
Okay.
Outstanding. I don't want to say the name wrong. Is it Tobias? Tobias, you on the air?
Yes, this is Tobias.
Outstanding. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome. I would like to congratulate Maya.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have any questions?
You got any questions?
No, I just wanted to congratulate you.
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in. We need to.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. That's so. Wow. See, just that alone got me speechless because people often ask or always complain about our youth and what you guys are doing. And I say it all the time. I don't need a radio show to be relevant. But I got a radio show because I love our kids. I love our youth. I love the fruit that's going to be growing when I get older. I pay attention to you guys. I listen to you guys. I try to have a platform so that you guys can be heard. If adults would actually take the time and listen to what a lot of you guys have to say, they will learn a lot. You feel me? Sydney, what have you through this situation, Sydney, through the whole bullying situation? What have you taken from it, from a positive side?
What I've taken from it is actually don't listen to what people saying about you, especially if it's bad, because then that's just gonna put you down, and that could actually affect your future in a negative way. You will think your whole life before doing something, what that person said, what that person thinks about me, and you really need to not care about what other people think. All you need to care about is that God loves you, and your parents love you. If you have a pet, they love you.
You like these pets. I'm gonna surprise you on Christmas. I'm gonna get you. I mean, it's not gonna be a real one. It's gonna be a stuffed animal, but you like, yeah, that's good. But so, and also what you said was very profound. To abuse anything in life, from abusing animals like pets, you got to realize if there's an adult or a teenager or a young adult that's doing it, guess what? If you can abuse an animal, you're going to abuse an individual. That means there's something is not right with you. And for people to make light of someone abusing, whether it be a bird or a cat or a dog or anything, it's just not right. Because these animals wasn't put on this earth, just like humans, nothing was put on this earth to be abused. That make sense, guys?
Yeah.
I think y'all got the phones blowing up. We got somebody else on the line? Charlita, I don't want to say it wrong. Is it Charlita?
Right.
Okay, outstanding. Thank you for calling the show.
Hi. I actually have my daughter Sydney with me as well. I just want to commend you all on this show topic. My daughter also experienced the same situation, bullying in school.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was difficult for us to talk about it, but some of the things that Sydney has mentioned, talking to her parents, we actually went to therapy.
Okay.
As a part of her relief. And Sydney actually has a question for the panel.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Sydney. We're listening.
Hi. One of the questions is, how did Sydney react to how her mom reacted to her being bullied in school?
How my mom reacted? She was actually really shocked. She didn't put up with it. She filed a bullying report, and I looked at my mother and I was like, that's commitment, that's love right there. When your parents try to do everything they can to help you, that honestly, that's showing enough love right there. Don't ever doubt that your parents don't love you.
I think that deserves a repeat.
Okay, co-host. Hey, wait a minute. That's a fact. Repeat that. Repeat that.
Don't ever think your parents don't love you, because they always do.
Amen. Anything else for us, Sydney? So, Sydney, we want to, and I want you to keep asking questions, but I want to take the time out. We want to take the time out to commend you for calling in. And also, Mom, if I can get at least 10 people to do the same thing, to have their child call in, this world would start being a better place. Because if the parents show interest and tag team with the child, then that's a movement that's going to be a great start to change the cycles that we're going through in this world. So I want to commend you, Mom, and Sydney for calling in. Yes, ma'am. You have anything else for the panel, Sydney?
Yes. I wanted to ask everybody on the panel, what do you guys think people may start bullying others? Like, what's the reason of bullying others?
Things I've seen, maybe they're being bullied or they've gone through rough experiences with bullying or peer pressure.
Repeat that one.
Peer pressure.
Okay.
One of the main things we've talked about is peer pressure, people pressuring people to do stuff. Dares, sometimes people playing truth or dare, daring people to go say something mean to that person. Anything like that. Seeing a friend do it, thinking it's okay. Kids in homes who have seen domestic violence maybe think it's okay, or any type of use, where maybe seeing a little kid get pushed by a brother or sister, and that could actually make people think it's okay to pick on your sibling.
Wow.
That sibling.
Okay.
I completely agree. Maybe it's because somebody is experienced that, or maybe because of where they grew up, or it could be a variety of different things, but maybe they have anger inside them and then they see one person and decide to take out the anger on them.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna chime in as an adult, Sydney. So like I said, the same thing that our youth go through, the adults go through it as well. So adults are being bullied as well. Parents are actually bullying their kids as well. That's a whole nother conversation. But it comes from a place of attention. Even adults do things for attention. Our kids do things for attention. And when the attention is not there, the attention starts from not getting attention at home. And what kids see that is consistent. If you see a lot of consistent negativity, then you're going to attribute to that negativity yourself. All behavior is learned behavior. I have people that have debated me about that, but you can't actually do something if you don't learn how to do it. So if you do something consistently, if somebody's consistently bullying somebody, that means they're seeing it. They're a part of that environment. Am I close to it, ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
Does that help, Sydney?
Yes.
All right. Anything else for us?
No.
Well, once again, ladies, I want to thank
Thank you
Sydney.
for calling in.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Sydney. And hey, stay prayed up, stay strong. And like your mom, hey, your mom is your #1 fan. You know, that's your ride or die. And she has your back.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much for calling the Archie Beslow Show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Now, also, Sydney, yes, she leaned on God to help her through the situation, but then Sydney, she's also an entrepreneur. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. My business is one cupcake business. At my aftercare, I have a friend. We had like 3 million different names, but our top 2 names was, our first name to start off our business was Cindy Sales, and our other name was SC All Star.
Okay.
And we sold cupcakes and handmade jewelry and pictures and stuff.
Do your peers know that you're doing this?
Yes.
So, amen. So that goes back to, like I tell people, don't listen to this show for entertainment. Listen to this show to get solutions. I know the young ladies sound cute and we all proud that they're doing this. Nah, they're on air because they're trying to bring change. They're trying to give you advice and information so that you can help your child through troubling times. And like I said, once again, a lot of things you guys go through as kids, we're going through it as adults. Now, I always tell people I don't talk about my resume because my resume can be intimidating to people, to adults. So I don't talk about my accomplishments. So just like you guys, both of you guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
You know, you girl, y'all doing it. Y'all just doing the thing. You know, acting, you know, grades, sending cupcakes, and talking about bullying with a smile, knowing that your mom and dad love you, knowing that your sister love you, knowing that you got God. You can't lose. What happens is the evil man, I'm not going to say the devil, even though I just said it, but the evil man that everybody speaks of cannot touch people that are being loved, that are doing positive things, and that has a strong supporting cast. So you guys are going to be all right. Now what happens is the bullying come in play because they're trying to challenge your faith, even at a young age. If they can get you guys at a young age, they're thinking that they got you from the beginning, and they're going to try to make you toxic all the way into adulthood. But you guys are blessed to have a supporting cast. All right? I think we got another call. We have another call, Angel? We have Laverne on the line?
Yes, this is Laverne again.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't going to call back, but I just had to.
Hey, it's good.
This show, I mean, I'm kind of speechless because I think you're on the verge of something big and new.
Yes, ma'am.
Not just in this area.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that for the school systems, it's needed, this type of action. This is an action.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just think this is the greatest thing that I've seen, not for entertainment,
Amen.
but for learning and education. And I think some of our administrators should listen to these young people.
I tried, sis. I tried. I tried. It's amazing. And I wanted my show to be a school curriculum. I wanted, and I'm gonna put it out there. And if somebody, I don't care, but I wanted the kids to download the app and on Sundays to listen to the show with their mom and dad. And then when they go to school the next day, for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, the teachers can ask them something that they took away from the show. And guess what? It don't cost anybody anything. And I didn't get any traction with that. Wow. It's like, are y'all really trying to help our kids? Because I'm all right. I'm a retired dude, so I get a check every month. So
and I know the school systems, they have a curriculum where they have faculty that go out to the schools to talk about bullying.
Right.
This is real.
Amen.
What you're doing.
Amen.
This is something I think it's got to go forward.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how, and I don't know where or when, but what you're doing today, it's got to go forward.
Yes, ma'am. Amen.
Okay. And also, the thing I was going to say, you mentioned about bullying, you know, sometimes parents or adults could bully.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes we have administrators that do that as well.
Amen.
And so they need to listen, too, to the voices of our youth.
That was the whole point of the radio show curriculum. Trust me, my show is gonna hold everybody accountable. That's why that's why I got a lot of flack. So I'm not gonna name the school, but I actually had a visit with the school, and I wanted to actually talk every Monday. I was gonna talk to the men first, the young ladies the first Monday men, the second Monday the young ladies, the third Monday the young men and young ladies together, and the fourth Monday I was gonna talk to the administrators. So I'm not going to tell you who the person was, but they said, I don't think we should talk to the teachers. I said, you know what, ma'am? I'm going to go into another school because right now you're not understanding what I'm trying to do.
Right, right. Well, if there's anything that, I don't know if you could put something out that parents or the voices or people that are listening.
Yes, ma'am.
What, plan of action that we can do and take. I think that's needed also. Let us know what we need to do.
Awesome. From
the people listening to you today.
Yes, ma'am. The spinoff from this show, we're actually going to do a workshop. That's going to be a spinoff from this show. So my Voices of Our Youth, we're going to make it a workshop. It's going to be, of course, on the radio, but we're going to have workshops. And we're going to hold people accountable. People have to stop saying what's not out there. Now, mind you, there are a lot of resources out there, but at the end of the day, the resources that are out there, sometimes you can't even get to them. So, So my point is, we're going to make we're going to make this resource available because my show is coming from the Voices of Our Youth. Now, everybody wants to know how to help you. Well, I have the youth telling you how to help them.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, ladies. So, that's my whole. I already know, and I say this often. I know that God put me on this earth to do what I'm doing, and I love it because I see my blessings each and every day. Because I'm not faking with this. This is real. Changing y'all lives, giving you guys vehicles, giving you guys a platform to speak. That's my destiny. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue to do it. You feel me?
Yes, that's good.
Y'all got any questions for me?
No, but I do have something.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? What you mean you got, girl? This ain't you. No,
Before we continue on, with everybody congratulating Maya, is the Stripper Show?
Yes.
Me and my mom, we have something for you.
Oh, thank you.
What you gotta say? So Maya, see, that's in it. That's a segue. So how do you feel? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this whole concept, Maya?
I'm really thankful that I can add something onto the list of ways I'm trying to reach people.
Amen.
And I just feel really happy that God had blessed me with this, that for giving me this platform on to reaching all these people and talking to different people. And thank you. I thank God for placing you into my life, for meeting you.
Girl, don't feel like that. Go ahead. You're welcome, Maya.
Reaching all these people.
Nah, I really, there's so much value in you guys, man. Like, you know, my passion is mentoring our youth, and it's you guys. I don't know. I mean, I just think that if people can connect with you guys' spirit instead of using kids, having hidden agendas, and we're talking about, and I'll say it, we're talking about, you know, the parents that are raising these athletes. It's like, I can count on my hands how many conversations I've had about somebody uplifting their child from getting a 4.5 or uplifting their child from getting a 3.5. The barbershop conversations are not about the 3.5s and 4.0s. The barbershop conversations are about the kid that can dunk, that can throw a football, that can hit a home run. I don't like those conversations. I don't even entertain those conversations. I have coached a lot of kids in my lifetime, but I don't go run into their colleges. I don't go run into their professional debuts. I don't do that because that part of their life was for them and their families. The interaction that I had with them was to try to instill some type of values from a mentor and a coach's perspective. Anything they get after that, hey, enjoy it. But we need to focus our attention on making sure all our kids are reading on the right grade level. Make sure that our young people are respectful. You know, making sure our parents are being accountable to make sure that our young kids are respectful. You know, adults need to stop using their excuses on why their kids are failing. Just because you're failing don't mean your child should fail. If you can get up every day, every morning, and know how to brush your teeth, know how to cook your meal, know how to drive your car, know how to watch Empower, know how to watch Power, know how to watch Love and Hip Hop, if you can watch all those things and be sane and understanding what's going on, don't give me an excuse about what you can't do for your kids, because I'm not listening. And I'm sorry, I go off on a tangent every now and then because people playing with this thing. Y'all lives are nothing to be played with. If y'all on this planet, y'all should be 110% should be devoted into y'all growth so that y'all can become something. And if a parent is not able to make that child become something, then team up with somebody in your family that can. Stop being embarrassed because you don't have the means to make your child the best they can be. Put your embarrassment to the side and find somebody and say, I need help. I need help with this one. And if it takes you going to 100 people before you get that help, in the meantime, take it to the Lord as well. I need help from somebody here on earth. But dear God, please help me. I know you're going to help me, God, but please, I need you to send me someone. And in a lot of cases, people are being sent someone, but they're too naive to understand that the person that's being sent to them is there to help them. Man, y'all go ahead and talk. I'm about to get a headache up in this joint. Go ahead, y'all. What y'all got to say? Go ahead. What you got to say, Sydney? You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, because I'm about to get fired up on the mic again. I'm about to stand up and talk. I can't even take the mic off. I will take the mic off and talk in my hand. Now, go ahead, Sid. What advice, Sydney, do you have? And I know we probably bounce around. Even if you repeat it, it's still a very important topic. And like I said, we're not downplaying bullying, but at the end of the day, God has the final say. So we're not going to give a whole bunch of negative energy to a topic that can actually be resolved if the right people step up to resolve it. So give our listeners something, Sydney, to leave with as it relates to bullying.
Something to leave with. Okay. If you're being bullied, don't stay quiet. Don't just sit there and take it, because that's what's leading to a lot of people doing self-harm and suicide, or having suicidal
Repeat
thoughts.
that one.
Suicide?
Yeah, it is. So go ahead. We'll say that for another show, y'all. Listen, go ahead.
If you're going through an issue, for all the children listeners, if you're going through something, don't just sit there and stay quiet. You need to tell somebody how you're feeling.
Amen.
Because if you don't, nobody's going to know, and nobody's going to be able to help you through this. The person is going to end up getting away with this, and it could end up messing up your entire life.
Awesome.
And for parents, if your child is going through something, don't put it off to the side and tell them, I got it in a second, I'll deal with it later, I have work to do. Don't put anything in front of your children.
Yes.
Sydney, how old are you?
11.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all, I get angry on this microphone. We got an 11-year-old that has the intellect at 11. Her dialogue about this conversation is far surpassed any adult.
That's great.
You feel me? You're talking you're 11, and you're talking as if. Go ahead, Maya, because I'm Maya. Go ahead, Maya. Maya, take the mic. Maya, you supposed to tap me on my shoulder and say, "Archie, I got it for me." Go ahead, Maya.
But I think that's wonderful that your eyes are open to the real world, because at 11 years old, my mind was just wrapped around grades and basketball. So the fact that your eyes are already open to how the real world is, and then how that you're already understanding on how to react to it, and then the fact that you don't have too much pride to the fact that you can go with your dad or to the teachers. And matter of fact, back to the bullying. When you approached your mom, and I'm sure they went to the school, how did the teachers react to it?
Hey, real quick before y'all, so hold on one second, I'm sorry. So I just got from Facebook, what should Solomon do when he sees the bully at camp tomorrow? He's here listening with me now. So Solomon, I'm going to tell you this. So right off the break, so whatever adult takes Solomon to camp, that adult and Solomon should go to the camp, the lead person in the camp, and call that person out. Because what should happen, that person that's in the camp that's bullying, he should be sent home. This bullying is nothing to play with. So what I'm saying is, the adult that's taking Solomon to camp should talk to the head person at the camp about the person who's doing the bullying, and you shouldn't accept nothing else but sending that child home. Go ahead, ladies.
What should I do about a bully staying at my camp? That's no. You're at camp. It's like, one thing if it's during the school year bullying, you get a break from it during the summertime. But being picked on during the summertime, no. What you should do, don't worry. Just tell an adult. Like he said, tell an adult. Tell somebody. Because you can't keep quiet. You gotta tell somebody. You gotta let somebody know what's happening. You gotta. So
Sydney, I know. I'm gonna bring you ladies. I'm gonna bring you both your ladies back. We only got 1 minute left in the show. That shows you how powerful. It don't show me just how powerful the show is. It shows me how powerful you guys are. You know what I mean? I wanna applaud you guys. And before we go off here, go ahead. We got something to present.
Sydney, we also have something for you. We would like to present to you a certificate of courage for you being strong, brave, and bold. And standing up to bullying and approaching it to your mom and coming on a radio show and sharing your story.
All right, well, that's our time. Thank you for listening to WL 95.9 FM, 1450 AM. WLDCnews.com, information is power. This is the Archie Beslow radio show. Let's figure it out. Man, ladies, thank you. Thank God. Hey, let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.
loves it.
Thank you. I didn't prepare for that at all. When we started, I was nervous.